Here's more wrestling news for December 8th, 2025. Your headlines for this afternoon include AJ Styles' 2026 farewell gets bigger, 2 major stars returning. WWE star exposes verbal and emotional abuse in locker room, shocking details. Brock Lesnar stuns fans with wild prehistoric cameo at Zac Brown Band show. John Cena breaks silence on surprise appearance at Bayley's Lodestone camp, and more. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows may no longer be with WWE, but they haven't ruled out a return, and their interest has everything to do with AJ Styles' planned retirement in 2026. The Good Brothers discussed the idea on their Talkin' Shop podcast, making it clear that they want to stand beside AJ when he wraps up his legendary career. According to Anderson, AJ's final chapter wouldn't feel complete without them involved. It's easy and it's safe to say AJ Styles' story inside WWE is obviously not complete without the Good Brothers. If AJ goes to his final match, 1, 2, 3, or his final appearance, and he leaves and takes his boots off, tells the fans worldwide that he's leaving, and there's zero Good Brother involvement, I'm just saying, I feel like that would be very impossible. Anderson didn't shut the door on a WWE return either. He suggested that as long as the timing is right, a deal can always be made, and if AJ Styles retires without the Good Brothers present, then the story really isn't over. That would mean if that happens inside that WWE ring, I would say AJ Styles is not finished. If there's some kind of deal struck and some kind of Good Brother involvement, there's always a deal to be struck. With both Gallows and Anderson currently free agents, the idea of one last OC reunion feels more realistic than ever. Whether it's a 6-man tag, a final entrance together, or simply joining AJ for his last moment in the ring, the possibility is clearly on the table. Do you want to see the Good Brothers return for AJ Styles' farewell tour? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. In a new YouTube video, former WWE star David Otunga opened up about what he described as a moment that permanently changed how he viewed both John Cena and WWE as a whole. After staying silent for 15 years, Otunga revisited an incident from a 2010 European tour, an experience he says left a lasting mark on his career. Otunga explained that the moment unfolded on September 24, 2010, during a tag match in Paris that saw him and Wade Barrett face John Cena and Evan Bourne. Goldust was also part of the tour at the time, still wrestling while helping younger talent behind the scenes. According to Otunga, Goldust had been coaching him before shows, giving him new ideas and simple spots to expand what Otunga described as his limited early skill set. One of those ideas was an extremely basic rope-based heel spot, something wrestling fans have seen countless times. Goldust made sure Cena was aware of the addition, even though, as Otunga said, didn't even need to be told. The courtesy was simply to acknowledge that Goldust had been working with him. During the match, Otunga set up for the spot. Cena was draped over the top rope, perfectly positioned. Otunga played to the crowd, walked over, and reached for the rope to begin the sequence. But the moment his hand touched it, the unexpected happened. Cena does this awful-looking sell, Otunga recalled. He stressed that the spot had not even begun, the rope was never pulled or pushed, yet Cena reacted as if the move had already happened. Otunga said nothing but continued the match, but what happened next became the real turning point. He looked back and immediately sensed trouble. And boy, Cena's pissed, Otunga said. From that point on, according to his account, Cena began stiffing him, berating him, and shouting insults in the middle of the match. Otunga claimed Cena told him he was terrible, lived in a fantasy world, and would be sent back to FCW once the tour ended. All of this, he said, happened in full view of the crowd, with Evan Bourne allegedly snickering in the background while Wade Barrett stayed silent. Things escalated even further when they got backstage. "I don't even get to say sorry," Otunga said. As soon as Cena walked through the curtain, he claimed the tirade continued in front of the entire locker room. Cena allegedly told him he wasn't a real wrestler, didn't belong there, and threatened to call Vince McMahon and The Office immediately. Otunga said he stood there seething, not crying but furious, feeling publicly humiliated over something he believed wasn't his mistake. Otunga said Goldust was the first to approach him afterward, and later, when the two reviewed the footage together, Goldust confirmed that the mistake was actually on Cena's end. Otunga further said no authority figure stepped in, no apology came, and the experience left him questioning whether he even wanted to stay in WWE. It actually changed the way I saw the company too, he admitted. Otunga made it clear that while Cena only stiffed him in the ring, the backstage confrontation was entirely verbal, but he also insisted that Cena knew exactly where the line was. I'm telling you right now, if John Cena had put his hands on me backstage, I would have beaten the dog shit out of John Cena, and fast. He even suggested that a physical confrontation might have been easier because at least it would have ended quickly. The verbal humiliation, he said, lingered, and as a rookie at the time, he had no real power to respond. 15 years later, Otunga said this remains the single worst dressing down he's ever witnessed in wrestling. Brock Lesnar made one of the most surprising appearances of his career this week, only this time it didn't happen inside a wrestling ring. Instead, the WWE megastar showed up virtually during a concert performance. On December 5th, Lesnar appeared in a stunning animated sequence during the opening night of the Zac Brown Band's residency at the Las Vegas Sphere. The cameo played out across the venue's massive 360-degree LED screens, catching fans completely off guard. The moment unfolded during the band's new track Animal, part of their newly released album Love and Fear. As the music kicked in, the Sphere lit up with a prehistoric-style scene featuring Lesnar and Zac Brown locked into a wild loincloth-clad battle. The larger-than-life clash between the two modern warriors created a surreal visual that matched the intensity of the song and the Sphere's cutting-edge presentation. The performance was originally meant to launch a limited run of shows, but overwhelming fan demand led to additional dates being added to the residency, no surprise given the venue's reputation as one of the most advanced entertainment spaces in the world. From lawsuits to Sphere showdowns and continued pay-per-view dominance, Brock Lesnar has once again shown that whenever he resurfaces, he doesn't just return, he dominates. John Cena may be just days away from stepping into a WWE ring for the final time, but that didn't stop him from showing up where he felt it mattered most. His unannounced 8-hour visit to Bayley's Lodestone 2025 women's wrestling camp in Florida left everyone stunned, and now he's followed up with a heartfelt public message reflecting on the experience. After Bayley shared photos and details from the session on social media, Cena took to Twitter to express how meaningful the day was for him. Pam, you had asked me a while ago how you could help the business. You've created something that does exactly that. A collaborative environment with the purpose of making everyone in the room better than they were yesterday. Attitude is infectious. The attitude you've created allowed me to be better than I was yesterday. Thank you for all you do. Thanks to the entire group of incredible individuals. It was my honor to be invited into the room. Bayley's Lodestone camp is built around developing rising women's wrestlers with hands-on guidance from established WWE names. Previous sessions have included stars like Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, and many others. With Cena set to wrestle his final match on December 13th against Gunther, Bayley made it clear how much it meant to have him invest an entire day into the next generation. Thank you, John Cena. And as we're exactly 1 week away from his last match, John showed up today, watched 10 women's matches, and spent 8 hours with us. Legit 8 hours. No conversation or piece of advice could have impacted me the way he did today by just showing up. Not just for me, but for each person in that room. That meant the world. I'll always strive to be what John was today, the GOAT. Cena's message only reinforced how special the experience was for him as well. Even in the final stretch of his career, he continues to lead by example, lifting others up not through speeches, but through the simple act of showing up and giving his time. Bryan Danielson's delivered his most honest update yet on his health, and it's not the news fans were hoping for. After spending more than a year away from in-ring action, the American Dragon revealed in a new interview with Chris Van Vliet that his neck issues have reached a serious point. Any chance of a comeback now appears unlikely, and Danielson made it clear that the situation is worse than many realized. He explained that his neck has significant degeneration and that surgery is becoming harder to avoid. What makes it even more difficult is that the increased travel from his AEW Dynamite commentary role has only accelerated the problem. So I have degeneration throughout my entire neck from C1 to T2. I'm on the cusp of needing surgery. I'd really like to avoid it as much as possible. I'd like to never get neck surgery. I was actually doing really well until I started traveling more for the commentary, and now it's really gone downhill. Danielson admitted that he had been holding on to a sense of hope, and maybe even fooling himself that he could return for a limited run, but the reality of his condition has pushed him to face the truth. I had these delusions of, okay, maybe I can get back and do a little bit of wrestling. Now I see that they're really delusions, because this traveling is this is not a good idea. When asked directly if he considers himself retired, Danielson didn't fully commit to the word, but acknowledged what it really means for his wrestling future. I hate the R word because I was forced to retire before. I never consider myself fully retired. I think this is how a lot of wrestlers think. Well, I think I could do this in this situation if needed or called upon. But yeah, effectively, for the Bryan Danielson that I used to be, yeah, that guy doesn't exist anymore. Even without competing, Danielson remains an active presence in AEW. He's a regular voice on Dynamite commentary and even got involved physically at AEW All In Texas during a chaotic brawl with the Death Riders. But for fans holding out hope that the American Dragon might return for one more run, his honesty makes it clear that that chapter is likely closed. The toll of his legendary career is catching up, and while the heart remains willing, the body simply may not be able to follow. WWE may be preparing to revive a retired premium live event for the first time in more than 5 years. The latest clue comes from a new trademark filing, which has sparked speculation about a possible return of a familiar name from the late 2000s and 2010s. One of the most recognizable PLEs from that era was Night of Champions, an event built around the concept that every championship must be defended in a single night. The show ran annually until 2015 before being replaced by Clash of Champions in 2016. WWE held Clash of Champions 4 times between 2016 and 2020, but the event was eventually shelved as well. Traditionally positioned in late September, with the exception of a December date in 2017, the PLE focused entirely on championship matches and was often used to reset or elevate title storylines heading into the fall season. A new USPTO filing dated December 1st and noted by Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net reveals that WWE has officially filed to trademark Clash of Champions. The filing is currently awaiting examination, and an examiner has yet to be assigned, but the company has already completed all the necessary requirements. For now, it's simply a matter of waiting for the process to move forward. This development has raised a new question. Could WWE bring back Clash of Champions in 2026 and once again position it as the company's all-title showcase? The name returned 4 events in 2023 and 2025 in Saudi Arabia, though those shows included a mix of championship and non-title matches. With the trademark now refreshed, fans are wondering if WWE plans to shift the event back to a more traditional format. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.